Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Unparalleled Universe for another action figure review, and today we're taking a look at the brand new Marvel Legends Legendary Riders. I think that's what these ones are called, Legendary Riders or Riders series or something like that. Anyways, it's a new Marvel Legends Punisher, and that's always awesome. And this one looks great. He has a bunch of really cool weapons and a motorcycle, all kinds of good stuff. So I am excited about this one. He popped up earlier this week on the East Coast and a bunch of people were finding him, and I think by now, he started to hit over here. Of course, MCU Collector has found one. Shout out to MCU Collector. He has his, I think he already has his review up too, so be sure to check that out. But I got this one from someone on the East Coast. It was a gentleman on Instagram that goes by the name Brooklyn Knights Collectibles. He reached out to me and said he had one of these, and then he sent it over. So huge shout out to you, man. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. But let's go ahead and get into it. First off, it's the typical Marvel Legends Rider Series box where it's just like a regular Marvel Legends box, but it's way bigger so it could fit the vehicle. But we can see the figure, we could see the accessories that he comes with, and of course we could see the motorcycle. Right up front it says the Punisher. On the side we have some really cool looking Punisher artwork. The box is kind of long so it's hitting my background, but there we go. Oh, nice. This is awesome right here. That looks great. And then on the back of the box, we get a look at the figure, and then it shows all the accessories that he comes with. And then right over here, we have a very descriptive biography of the Punisher. It pretty much tells us everything we need to know about the character. Here it says, Frank Castle rides through the night dispensing brutal vigilante justice. So there you go. And the packaging is collector friendly, just like all Marvel Legends figures. But enough about the box. Let's go ahead and rip this figure out and take a look. And now here we have Punisher right out of the box, and I think he's a pretty good looking figure. He is made from the same body as the Marvel Legends Netflix Luke Cage, and I think this is a pretty good reuse of that body mold because I imagine there's not a whole lot of characters that they could make out of that body. It's a big dude in street clothes, so I think it was pretty wise of them to use it for this version of Punisher, and I think it came out pretty nice. Obviously he does have new arms because he does have the pinless technology going on here, and I think it looks pretty good. The arms look a little big in my opinion, but they don't look bad. They just kind of stand out to me as a little bigger than I expected, but I do think they look cool because he does look buff and intimidating. And as far as I could tell, it looks like the shoulders are different from that Luke Cage body. To be honest with you, I don't have that Luke Cage figure, so I'm not 100% sure of all the reused pieces, but I'm pretty sure that the torso and the legs come from that mold. So let me know in the comments if you guys know for sure. But in any case, I think it looks really good for Punisher. And then he does come with his motorcycle. The motorcycle is really nice, but it's very familiar because it's pretty much the same mold and sculpt as the motorcycle that we got with the Wolverine figure a couple years back. But it works. I mean, they did a good job with it. Obviously, they gave it different handlebars. And one thing I really like about it, it's kind of hard to see here because it's all black, but I like that there's different types of plastic going on here because, or different finish to some of the plastic. Like a lot of the body of the motorcycle is kind of a matte black, but then the exhaust pipes are kind of shiny, and then the handlebars are shiny, and then these guys up here are shiny. So that's really cool. And this is a good looking motorcycle. It looks super dope in all black. And then the tires are rubber. I mean, the wheels are rubber. So that's cool. It could roll around with no problems at all. And Frank does look awesome sitting on it. So let's go ahead and take a look at him hanging out on the motorcycle before we take a look at the details on everything. And he has no problem actually getting onto the motorcycle or holding onto the handlebars. So that's a good thing. And then we do have the kickstand right here. So if you just want to have him posted up like that, you can do it. And his foot fits on there naturally. All of it works out really well. So I'm very happy with how this whole thing came out. And taking a closer look at the details, starting off with the head. This Punisher head is really nice. I like all the battle damage stuff that we have going on. We have some scratches that have kind of been bandaged up. His nose looks like it's been broken. And it looks like he's been listening to a bunch of Cypress Hill lately. Check out those red eyes. The facial expression is pretty cool too. There's not a whole lot of paint going on aside from the details around the eyes and then the battle damage stuff. Like the skin tone just looks like, you know, plastic, tan plastic. They definitely could have added a little bit of a wash to that and it would have been nicer, but as is, it's pretty cool. And the hair kind of just has like a slick back type of look to it. A lot of people don't like the hairline. I understand that complaint, but you know, it's fine. And you know what, man? Now that I've handled a bunch of G.I. Joe figures that have the neck articulation at the lower neck, I really wish Marvel Legends had it, especially right here, right where the shirt's at. You know, it would have been so perfect and it would have added a little bit more to this figure. But when I see the shirt break up like that, I think like, damn, they could have just put an articulated neck in there and that would have been dope. But as is, at least it is like a separate sculpt. You know, you could actually see the shirt collar piece sculpted rather than just painted on. So, you know, I'll take what I could get. But the details on the shirt do look nice. They're all sculpted. You can see a bunch of wrinkles and everything. I like how they sculpted some details onto the shoulders too. And I also like these little shoulder straps that he has. And these can come off if you want to take them off. But I think it adds a little bit more to the body to have them on there. And it also gives you a place where you could store like his machete or whatever. You could just stick it back there, you know, if you want. So I like that. The skull looks good on the chest. I like how it's not like completely white. It kind of has some spots and it looks a little messy. So that works out really well for this version. And then for the pants, it's kind of hard to see because it's just black. But there are some details in there. As you can see, it's not just flat. But there's pretty much texture throughout. And then on his left leg, he has a strap thing that has a couple of magazines in it. Obviously, they're not removable or anything. They're just kind of molded plastic, but it is loose, so you can remove it if you want. And then the gloves here, the gloves also have some texture going on. So that's cool. And then check out the arms. We have the pinless technology. Woohoo! But again, they don't have it here on the knees. So I get it that the arms are new and the legs aren't, but why not just give us the whole new experience, you know? Like give us the pinless tech on the arms and on the legs. But you know, it's okay. At least on the pants it doesn't stand out as much as it does on the arms, so it's fine. But yeah, I like to see that here, and hopefully they continue on with that. So now I think it's been 2 figures, right? It's been him and War Machine that have had the pinless technology, so good stuff. But hopefully they do it all the way and really take the figures to another level. But yeah, the details, the sculpt, and the overall look is really nice on this figure. I like this head sculpt, man. He does look like he's been through some shit. So yeah, this is a dope looking figure. I'll go ahead and do my best to show you the details on the motorcycle, but it's kind of hard because it's all black. But there we go, we're catching some light. So you are able to see some of the sculpting work in there. You can see where the screws are, but luckily it's all black so they don't stand out or anything. I don't know anything about engines. I think these are called cylinders, right? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. I do like how the exhaust pipes are a different color though, how they're like a shiny black plastic. Man, it's really hard to see. I apologize. Just go ahead and look at this real quick and then move on here. And the wheels are rubber as I mentioned. Let's go ahead and take a look at this right here, the license plate. It says Punish, well almost says Punish. It says PNSH616. Nice little Easter egg there. And that's about it for the motorcycle. I like it though. It looks great, so I'm happy with it. And then here's something I almost forgot to mention. The speedometer on Punisher's bike actually has a little Punisher skull logo on there, so that's pretty cool. I have no idea where Punisher would go to get a skull logo on a speedometer, but hey, whatever, it works. And just to give you a quick look at how some other characters look on the Punisher bike, here's a quick look at Snake Eyes hanging out on here, and I think this looks really good. And the retail version will probably look a little better since he's all black. This is the exclusive one, but yeah, you get the idea. It still looks really good, so there you go. If you want to use this for Snake Eyes, that'll work. And then next up we have Roadblock on the motorcycle, and I think this actually works a little better than Snake Eyes because Roadblock is bigger and he fits a little better onto the motorcycle. But yeah, this is awesome. This looks good. I don't know if Roadblock rides around on a Harley Davidson type of motorcycle, but in any case, I think this looks pretty cool, and if this is something you want to do, it'll definitely work. And then next up here we have the Mezco blade on the motorcycle, and again, I think this works out pretty good. And then last but not least, we have the Mezco 112 Collective Comic-Con exclusive Punisher on the motorcycle. And this looks really good as well. I think it would look better if the bike had a couple of white accents just so it matched the Punisher a little better. So might be a good idea to get an extra one of these so that I can make some like modifications. But yeah, man, this is awesome. This looks really good. And aside from the motorcycle, Punisher does come with a bunch of other really cool accessories, including multiple different weapons. So first off, we have a sawed-off shotgun. And then we have an Uzi. And then we have a machine gun. And aside from the guns, he also has other weapons such as a machete and a baseball bat. And then he comes with this really cool looking Viking helmet. And aside from all the weapons and all those kinds of cool things, he also comes with two different head sculpts. The first one here is the one that we've already looked at. It's the one that's on the body when you take it out of the package. It's a battle damaged Frank Castle, and I think it looks really good. And the alternate head is a not battle damaged Frank Castle, and I think this looks really good too. I really like the facial expression on this, and it definitely screams Frank Castle. So both of these head sculpts are really nice. And let's go ahead and take a closer look at the weapon, starting off with this machine gun. This does look really good. I like the sculpting work on it, and I love the fact that they gave Punisher realistic looking guns instead of brightly colored Nerf inspired guns. So that's very fitting for Punisher. I'm glad they made the right decision here. So this does look very nice. And then next up we have this one here. I'm just going to call this thing a machine gun too, because I don't know too much about guns and I just kind of lump them into categories. So here's his machine gun number 2. But this is good. There's a bunch of sculpting work on it. And again, it feels very realistic. So I do like it. And then we have the shotgun. And this is like a sawed-off shotgun, right? Sawed-off shotgun hand on the pump kind of deal. So this is good. I like how it has different colors. We have like the wooden handle piece and then, the wooden pump piece and then the wooden handle back here. Looks good. Got double barrel action there. And then we have his machete. The machete looks good. Oh, look at that. There's some sculpted detail on the handle. That's cool. There's not a whole lot of paint on this thing though. It does look a little plain, but I like it. It's cool that he came with the machete. And then a baseball bat. How awesome is that? Again, not a whole lot of details on this baseball bat, but it's cool that he came with it. And then we have the Viking helmet. And, I'm not too sure what the deal is with this Viking helmet. So, from what I've heard, he, fights some Asgardians or something. And in that comic where he's fighting them, he has a Viking helmet. It looks cool. It makes for a very cool visual to have Punisher with the Viking helmet on the motorcycle. So it works very well for an action figure. And it also fits very nicely onto the figure's head. You have no problem sticking it on there, and check that out. You could actually see his eyes through the eye holes. So that looks cool. And the sculpting work is very well done too. You can see that there's spikes running along the head here. We've got the horns. It's painted very well. It's nice, man. This is a really cool looking helmet. And then here's something kind of cool that I wanted to show you guys. If you have the recently released Marvel Legends War Machine figure that has all the accessories, you are able to use a couple of those on Punisher's guns. So as you can see here, we have the smoke effect coming out. And I didn't think of this. I actually saw Feral Black do it with the shotgun. He had the smoke effects on the shotgun and it looked really cool. But they also fit in the Uzi here. Or not the Uzi, the machine gun, whatever you want to call this thing. But I think that looks cool. And then you are able to put these little guys into the shotgun. So they don't fit in there perfectly, but these sparks or whatever from the gun don't need to be perfect. So this works out just fine. And now for a couple of quick size comparisons, we have the Marvel Legends Punisher alongside a couple of Mezco Punishers. On the left here, we have the PX exclusive Punisher, and on the right, we have the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Stealth Ops Punisher. And then next we have Punisher alongside the Mezco 112 Collective Blade and the Marvel Legends 80th Anniversary Captain America. And then next up we have Punisher alongside the Marvel Legends Sasquatch Wave Deadpool and the Marvel Legends Ghost Rider. I can't remember what wave he's from. Let me know in the comments. And then of course we have Punisher alongside the Marvel Legends Bucky Cap and Marvel Legends Pizza Spider-Man. And then here we have Punisher alongside the G.I. Joe Classified Snake Eyes and G.I. Joe Classified Cobra Island Roadblock. And to finish off this comparison, we have the Rider Series Punisher alongside a couple of older Marvel Legends Punisher figures. On the left here, we have the OG Series 4 Toy Biz Punisher. And this figure will never leave my collection. It's one of the first Marvel Legends that I've ever purchased, and I love it. And even though it is very outdated, I would argue that this head sculpt is probably better than a lot of the recent Punisher head sculpts. It looks definitely more detailed. So, I don't know. I love that figure. And then on this side, we have the Walgreens exclusive Punisher. And then let's go ahead and do a couple of head swaps because I feel like we have a couple of pretty cool possibilities here. First off, we have the new Punisher with one of the heads from the Walgreens exclusive Punisher. And that actually looks really good. Check that out. That is awesome. It is a little small, so it makes the body look even bigger, but I think it looks pretty nice. And then back here, we have that Walgreens Punisher with the battle damaged Punisher head from the new set, and look at that, man. That's awesome. It's cool to have so many good Punisher head sculpts. And then back here we have one of the Mezco Punishers with the non-battle damaged head from the new Punisher set, and that is really, really nice. I actually like this a lot. So that came out really cool. And let's see what else we have going on here. So here's that other head from that Walgreens set. And again, I think that looks okay, but I actually like it a little bit better with this head on there. But this definitely works. And let's see what else we have going on here. Got the Mezco Punisher head. It should pop on. Yeah, look at that. Ooh. I mean, that's pretty good. I'm not always the biggest fan of Mezco head sculpts, especially just for like human characters. But I thought the Punisher head sculpts were pretty nice, and this actually looks good. Let's go ahead and throw maybe like the battle damaged head onto the Mezco PX Punisher's body. Let's see how that looks. That looks pretty nice too. Check that out. Man, it's so cool that all these Punisher heads are pretty much interchangeable, even with figures in different lines. So yeah, I like that. But I think as far as the Marvel Legends head on a Mezco body, I actually like this the most. Now let's go ahead and switch these two out. We'll put the battle damaged head on here real quick. Man, that's dope. I gotta dig up my classic Mezco Punisher. I have him somewhere, but you know what? To be honest with you, I'm not sure off the head where it's at. It's the most rare Punisher figure, I think, aside from the Toy Fair exclusive version, and I'm not even sure where I put it. It's around here somewhere, but oh, look at that. That looks dope. But yeah, I really like these Marvel Legends heads on the Mezco bodies. I think they come out pretty nice. So that's definitely a pretty good display option. Pretty dope. Oh, one more thing I wanted to check. Let's go ahead and put the, what do you want to call this? Like the tactical helmet. Oh man, look at that. Oh, that's awesome. He'll look pretty badass like this on the bike. Man, that's really cool. Damn. That might be my favorite head swap. These two might be my favorite head swaps, actually. Really, really nice. And as far as the articulation goes, he has a pretty basic Marvel Legends articulation setup, so he does have a little less than more recently released Marvel Legends figures, but I think he has enough for a character like Frank Castle, so I'm happy with it. But let's go ahead and take a look, starting off with the head. His head is on a ball joint, so it does move side to side. It's got a little bit of tilt to it, but not very much. And then he can look up to about right there. And then he could bring his head all the way down to about right there. And then he does have an ab crunch, but the ab crunch only moves forward to about right there. So not very much. As you could see, that's not a very deep crunch. But he does have a waist swivel. And then let's see, he could go back on that ab crunch a decent amount. Check that out. So he could lean back. And then for the arms, we do have ball jointed shoulders that do go all the way around. And his arms could come up to about right here. But his shoulders have sculpted shirt sleeve details. So it does prevent the arms from coming up all the way. But that's still a pretty good amount. So I'm happy with that. And then he does have an upper bicep swivel. He has double jointed elbows, which are really nice. Check that out. Bam. That's pretty good right there. And then at the hands, we have a swivel. And the right hand has the vertical hinge. So that comes in useful for his machete or for his shotgun. And the left hand has a swivel and then your traditional hinge. And then for the legs, he can do the splits almost. I mean, that's a pretty good spread there. And then his leg could come up to about right there, which is a pretty decent amount. They can't really go back very much. Then he does have upper thigh swivel. He's got the double jointed knees, which are pretty good. Bam, there you go. And then at the foot, I'm a little disappointed because he doesn't have any kind of swivel. It seems like Hasbro's doing that a lot on characters that have jeans or long pants. They don't put the swivel at the ankle, so that kind of sucks. There's no swivel at all there, but he does have rocking ankles, so that's cool. And then you could bring his foot way forward like that if you get the shoe around the pant leg. But if you just put it back naturally, it kind of stops right there. And then it comes up to about right there. And yeah, that's about it for the articulation. So like I said, not a whole lot of articulation, but definitely enough for Punisher. Like always, I would have preferred a diaphragm cut. That would have been cool. Shoulder joints would have been nice too, but he's got these straps here anyways, so it doesn't matter. As long as you could get him in cool poses, holding guns or fighting or whatever, I think we're okay. And I think most of that is achievable with this figure. Alright guys, so overall, I think this is a really cool set and I like it a lot. The Punisher figure itself came out really good. I feel like reusing that Netflix Luke Cage body was a good idea and it works very well for this version of Punisher. The articulation could be a little bit better, but for the most part, I'm pretty happy with what I'm able to do with this figure. But I do wish that he had a diaphragm cut because that's just a personal preference. But it's fine as is. I think I could pretty much get any pose I want out of this figure. I know that Punisher doesn't need to be like Spider-Man level articulation, so I'm okay with what we have going on here. I do like seeing the new arms on here. I think they look good, and I love the fact that they have the pinless technology. I do feel like they're slightly big for Punisher, but it's okay because it makes him look even more intimidating and crazy, so I'm happy with that. And as far as the accessories go, he comes with a bunch of really good stuff. I like the shotgun, the different Uzis, the baseball bat, the machete, the two heads, the helmet, all kinds of really cool stuff. Even though, the helmet, I have no idea what that's about. I guess in a modern comic, Punisher was fighting some Asgardians and that helmet helped him. I don't know how much good that would do when he's fighting a bunch of gods, but whatever. It makes for like a cool visual. Having Punisher with the Viking helmet on his motorcycle is pretty dope. So I do like it from that perspective. And speaking of the motorcycle, I think that thing is badass. I love like the black look to it. It's very fitting for Punisher, and you could use it for all kinds of other stuff. So it's nice to get some more vehicles. I know we already have this motorcycle, but I like having the all black version. Maybe we could use it for Snake Eyes or whatever. I feel like there's a lot of cool stuff that you could do with this motorcycle, so I'm happy with it. And just in general, I think it's a really good set, and I'm very happy to have it. And I really like the whole Legendary Riders thing that Hasbro's been doing. Hopefully they keep it up and they continue to give us awesome vehicles. But anyways, I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Also, be sure to hit the bell notification so you know every time that I go live. That way you could come through and hang out. So thank you very much. Peace.